What's going on, Sagittarius? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the dopest, Sag, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. You hear that, Sag? It's your general energy weekly spread. I think that might have been my most clever one yet, Sag. But Sagittarius, this is your general energy weekly spread. So whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be messages here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Oh, gems, stable, ready. Just great energy all around here, Sag. Now, Sagittarius, with this spread, I'm going to be pulling a few oracle cards, and then we'll be getting some tarot to get some details on the mix. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And then the decks that I'm working with, in case y'all were curious, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested there, Sag. I love it! Sagittarius, starting off strong, one of your cards. The 8th card of Sagittarius, which is the microphone card. Tell them what you got to say. And with this microphone card, there's a card of news, trending, broadcast, expression, strong opinion, make known, current events, public speaking, speak truth, communicate, social media, being heard, and speaking up. And listen, Sagittarius, if you've been thinking about wanting to get out there as far as this could be, maybe you want to start some kind of social media platform, maybe get on YouTube, maybe start Discord, maybe you want to jump on Facebook, or all right, let me get in a realm I do know. Maybe you want to get into public speaking. Maybe we're thinking about writing a news article. Look at you, writing a book. Whatever it is, if you've just been thinking about just expressing yourself, putting some type of content, whether this be for a business or even just as a hobby, or maybe even a little stream income, something along those lines, I say go for it, Sag, And if this is something that you've been maybe nursing for a little while, but hasn't seemed to quite get the traction that you've wanted to, then I would say, come on, maybe don't hit me up, but maybe find someone who can help kind of spread that social media around. Maybe start putting up some banners. Depending on what you're doing, let's say we're starting maybe we're starting an open mic thing. Maybe you're doing, I don't know, you got rented out a space and, just trying to get the community singing again, to hear their voice, putting up flyers, or I don't know, maybe making some kind of events, can you do a potluck at an open mic thing? Why not, Sagittarius? Dream big. But here's the thing, Sagittarius, whatever this is that you have, definitely make it known, because you're ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is a very, on top of being, a planet of luck and abundance and all of that. Jupiter is very wise and has a lot of, Jupiter's a planet of expansion and higher learning. And so whatever it is that you're interested in, Sagittarius, I'm sure you're very engaging at whatever this is. Or I'm sure you have a really rich knowledge of whatever this thing is that you've been wanting to express. And definitely put that out there, because yours is a sign that would really make, great teachers, great just people to just if people are just looking for inspiration, a Sagittarius is fantastic go-to. Just fire signs in general, but yours is just there's this, it's just this wisdom that you have, that's just inherent to you. So, let that be known, Sagittarius. Definitely spread that, share that abundance. Take a note from your ruler there. Definitely get this out. But let's get some tarot on this. Get a little more details on this fame, this fortune that you're doing. And you know what, Sagittarius? This doesn't even have to be something where if you're like don't want to be, let's say, in the spotlight, for example, you can do the stuff behind the scenes. You know, make it be, if you don't want, like writing a book, for example. How many artists do you know that actually go by their name? You know, they usually have like some kind of pseudonym or, you know, different kind of moniker or something along those lines. So you can definitely make this you can be influential from behind the scenes. So don't sleep on that, all right? Because, I mean, already starting off here, you got Nine of Pentacles in reverse. And I feel like that this is something, hold on, let's see what else you got here. Okay, so we got Nine of Pentacles, Page of Wands. Okay, I'm with it. All right, so you have Nine of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and Two of Cups in reverse. And then we have the Two of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands upright. And I feel like with this, Sag, this could, whatever this is, you know, if you've been, idea, hobby, apply it to your situation. I do feel like if this is something that you were to start to pursue, that this would provide for you a level of, because the Nine of Pentacles is almost like it's like a card of like feeling self-sustainable. And this could be in terms of finances, if that's where you're trying to take this thing. But Pentacles are more than that. This affects your manifestation, because if you start creating some content now, that inspires you to do more, because you'll see, when you see what kind of impact that has, how you raise that vibration, then it feeds into a number of avenues. You know, this is the Pentacles, like the manifestation. It's your health that's going to get you feeling good, feeling creative, feeling inspired. So don't sleep on this, Sagittarius. If you have something that you've been wanting to cook up, that, you know, that's just been really kind of just got you just pumped, I say, give it a try, you know, because sometimes, just thinking with this Ten of Wands, when we're thinking about ideas, sometimes we can get excited, but then we think about some of how we can incorporate this thing, and sometimes we can get a little deterred maybe by the steps that might need to take. You know, maybe if you got to start up like a social media account, you know, then we got to get some traction, we got to start posting things, and then if we have other things that we're working on top of this, it's like, yeah, that can get a little bit much, but make this thing work for you. You know, I feel like with both of these twos, you know, because I feel, you know what, I almost feel like with how these twos have even popped up here, I feel like that finding that just making a little more time, even if this is not something that you're planning on, let's say, putting out, let's say, like, you know, to like the public, even just like letting that inner voice, I feel like, be heard as well, Sagittarius. Even if this is something just for like you know what I mean? If you're doing like, because I used to do stuff like that. I would write some music. I have a whole bunch of music. Well, some stuff I got to look back and do some editing and things, but I had a whole bunch of music, and I pretty much wrote that for me, just to be able to express, just for expression's sake. And you'd be surprised what that does for the soul, Sagittarius. You know, even if you don't put this out there, this can alleviate, especially if life has been feeling really stressful. This can take some of this burdens off of you. You know, when we take that break to do some things to fill our cups every now and again, finding that balance between, you know, that work smart, play smart type of energy. But regardless of how this, you know, what scope of this exposure this is, Sagittarius, I do feel that this is something, definitely keep, you know, make this a thing, you know, definitely, because fire signs, I really, we all, you know, can benefit from creating, but fire signs, you know, really have this innate, just sort of artistic ability about them that really, when tapped into, I mean, it's just extraordinary. And it really does, it inspires the other elements to jump in kind, because it's just like, oh, look at what Sag is doing. Oh, I want to do some of that. So, and then it shows too, Sagittarius, another thing to think about. because sometimes I feel like people could think that when we're thinking about like working in times for hobbies and stuff, that it is going to be hard, that it can be a challenge, that, maybe it's meant for someone else and not them. But when we you get enough like people doing this type of stuff, finding that balance, it makes it a trend, then look at that, you're trending. Look at you, Sagittarius, I love it. So just something to think about. This could, you'd be surprised how doing something for you manages to help so many others down the long run. It may come across as like selfish at first, but really when you start to share this stuff and people, and even just as simple as like maybe even like a friends or like family members or something along those lines, just showing them can spark up something spark something there, and then they take that inspiration and they're spreading it to those in their proximity, and then look at that, it's a whole... You're building a soul tribe. You're raising the vibration. I mean, look at you, Sagittarius. This is what I'm talking about. Your energy, hard at work. I'm with it, and not even hard at work. Effortlessly at work. All you just had to do was create something. I like that. Let's get some more. Ooh, okay. Well, yeah, that's all right. Let's be mindful. We got stay calm. You got the third card of Aquarius here, which is the Black Widow. It's Aquarius. With the Black Widow card, this is a card of betrayal, warning, twisted, turncoat, cunning, danger, toxic situation or relationship, web of control, entrapment, unexpected attack, insidious, poisonous, and low vibration. And so, just kind of piggybacking off this microphone there, Sag, if we are in some sort of, relationship, situation, low vibratory anything that's keeping you from either pursuing this, this dream that we were talking about, or even just in something that's keeping you from like speaking your truth or speaking up in general, where you're feeling restricted, or maybe it's like your opinions can't get across, something along those lines, then I say we want to start harmonizing again. We want to start raising our vibration and see what we need to do about this. If this is a person, do we need to set up some boundaries? What kind of conversation is that looking like? If this is like, let's say like a job situation, if there's like, I don't know, there could be that one, well, hopefully it's just one coworker, well, hopefully it's none. But if there is just one, that coworker that might be lowering the vibration, maybe kind of spreading venom around and things. And if you've noticed that like maybe you've gone to management and there seems to be no kind of progress there, then, the Sagittarius, I would never tell you to quit your job, but maybe let's put some resumes out there at least to see what's available, because that kind of stuff, you stay in those vibrations for a long enough time, it affects everyone in the long run. Now, if this is, apply it to your situation. Who knows, Sagittarius? If this is something, if this is at work, for example, and you think that this is something that maybe we can get resolved, then, I mean, by all means, maybe could be just something that's putting this, bringing this to the person's attention, if there's something like that. But let's get some tarot on this. I thought I had something else for this. You know what? I do. One other thing, and not that I would think that you would lower the vibration, Sag, but just being mindful of the content that we are putting out there. Just like the stuff that we're putting out, we want to be raising the vibration. Just something to think about. And again, that's not to you know where I'm getting at, Sag. But let's get some tarot on this. And you know what? Just thinking with that too. If we do decide to do something in public, there might be some people that have some opinions, not everyone's going to agree with everything that you're doing at first, of course, but we can't please everyone. And it's not the point, do this thing to the people who resonates with it will resonate with it. And then as that grows, these Black Widows will get with the memo, and if they don't, bye. Just something to think about too. Don't let Black Widows deter you from just pursuing things as well. You know, that's it's they're just opinions. You know. But let's see. My question would be, what have you created lately? Oh, look at that. I'm with it. Because you have, that's an interesting combination. So strong, too. You got the Lovers and the Tower in reverse here. And so I will say, just kind of really thinking with how you have the Lovers and the Two of Cups in reverse, this really does... These two cards for me can be like a connection with your higher self as well. Just like your internal guidance system, you know, however you connect, you know, spirit, future self, God, Buddha, Jesus, however that looks like for you. If there's something that, just thinking with like people, situations, things that don't feel right for you, Sagittarius, and we can't seem to figure out how to make this situation work, then this is something I feel like this, with the Tower popping up in reverse, I feel like this is saying that get yourself out of this situation. Mars is a planet of action, and when there's something that's lowering the vibration, that's no longer serving a purpose, then we gotta bulldoze this thing. You know, we gotta make way for Empress energy, because that's the Nine of Pentacles. This is you getting ready to hop into Empress mode. But the thing too, I feel like with the Tower, when it does pop up in reverse, I love that, because it gives you the power to connect with yourself, fix the vibrations, and start growing from this. But, and this is not to get you panicked or anything, but I do feel like Tower moments, if we are in a situation like this or notice something that comes up in the future, Tower moments I feel like have a window. You know, this like higher self is just like, hey, you got eyes on this thing, what are we going to do about it? And if we just kind of ignore it, and it starts to get to our detriment, higher self is just like, all right, we gotta push, you know, and usually it's a gentle nudge, you know, higher self is not too aggressive, but it's something that we might need a little nudge if not just paying attention to the signs. So just with how you have these, especially just have these two in reverse here, just make sure that we're tuning into our intuition, trusting that gut, you know, and just because that's how we can get ahead of any sort of like unexpected, just looking at this, unexpected attacks or entrapments or things along those lines. Because this doesn't give me anything like any sort of danger or anything like that, Sagittarius. But I will also say, there's just something about if we're just in the public eye, just make sure that we're just being mindful of how we're presenting ourselves, you know. And, you know, I'm not saying, you know, not be your authentic self, Sagittarius, but, you know, just be mindful of your audience, you know, and what you're presenting and all of those things. And I feel like this would be smooth sailing. And I also, you know, one thing with the Lovers as well, the Lovers can also be a card of making a decision, you know, like kind of like, sort of like at that crossroads. So if you've been kind of on the fence about this thing, kind of oscillating, figure out what's keeping you from making that move. You know, what's got you nervous? You know, if is this, are we worried about stability? Are we worried about time? You know, what is that? And then when we have those worries in front of us, let's write some solutions to them. What could we do with that? Let's not just let them be excuses, you know what I mean? Or be things that you can't move or keep you from moving. But let's get a little bit more on this. Oh, I'm with it. Aquarius. And Jupiter. There we go. I like it. So let's see what we have here. So we got the Three of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse here. And then we have the Star card upright. And I like this because you know what? The nice thing about, because let's say, you know, maybe some of us, we just got out of a situation and we're going through this healing process right now. Because the Star, after the Tower, does come the Star. And usually that's, you know, we're because I like this. It's like, now that this land has been kind of like been cleared out here, now we're pouring some water on this. It's like, how can we nurture and feed this, you know, yeah, how can we nurture this, whatever this unpleasant situation might have been? Because like when you think about your ruler, Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, this is like the end of a cycle here. And it's like, if things haven't been going your way, just like, how do we get out of that? You know, and what do you want to do with this next cycle? just, depending on how this is applying. But let me get back to if you were just getting over something. This is an opportunity, or a great opportunity for you to be thinking about that, where, I know that depending on how the situation was, may not have been ideal, but this is a time to celebrate with this. I just know how this, with the Three of Cups being in reverse, we may not feel like it, but this is a cause to rejoice, because now we've gotten eyes on this thing, we've grown, and now we have all the opportunities to speak our truth again, to see what's next, and just thinking with this Aquarius energy as well showing up. If you're going through something, or if you find yourself in something in the future and it seems like a lot, the Three of Cups for me can be about like communication, and just thinking with Aquarius energy too, they're about networking. And so, connect with a friend, even like the lovers, connect with a friend, maybe a family member, someone along these lines, if we've been going through something, just to help you process whatever went down. Sometimes the Star card can be a card of unexpected help too. So don't sit on the fact that someone can maybe help you through this thing, Sagittarius. But I'm also kind of getting with this thing, kind of moving away from that, just really going back to if we've been thinking about starting this thing up, if we've been sitting on just like some ideas and stuff. The Star card is also a card of manifestation. It's that connection to source, and if there have been signals that have been telling you like, hey, check this idea out, give it a try, maybe write some songs, write, or do whatever this is that's, speaking to you. Don't let this cycle not be started. Let's not sit on gold, Sagittarius, just if you have some ideas. Because like really, the only crazy ideas right now are the ones that aren't being implemented. And it may not make sense at the time, but it will as we get going. And you know what? Let me backtrack with that. If you have some ideas, and maybe you have like a whole notebook of things, or at least I hope you do. And if not, start keeping a notebook of ideas that come to you if they don't seem to apply for you, because who knows, maybe while you're networking, talking with some friends, families, even just maybe some strangers, maybe you'll happen to talk about, get in a conversation, you happen to talk about whatever idea you had in there, this person has this skill, next thing you know, you got a partner, and then you got a business, who knows what, you got an empire. I know, look at you, I just made you a mogul. Well, actually, I didn't do anything. You made you a mogul, Sagittarius. I mean, because that's the energy that you're working with. And however big you want this to look, it doesn't matter. But what does matter is getting that, so just doing some creation, filling in this space with some newness, helping really. I feel like with all the changes and stuff, people might be, putting out doom and gloom, like, oh my goodness, the world is collapsing, lowering the vibration. Let's help raise that vibration, Sagittarius. I like it. Let's get a little more tea, and then let's jump into your last card. Okie dokie. Alrighty. So you got the 7th card of Taurus here, which is the eyeglasses card. This is a card of assessment, evaluate options, perspective, review, analyze, opinion, judgment, examine, seeing clearly, the fine print, estimate, closer look, focus, awareness, and check the details. And really, this kind of just goes based off what I've been talking about. These, if you've had great ideas, some truths that need to be made known, let's get those out there. That's pretty much what's, especially if that's something that's been resonating with you. Saturn in Pisces right now will be in Pisces for like the next 3 years. This kind of energy here is imagine this microphone is what Saturn is putting right in front of you. That's the whole time, these next 3 years. Saturn wants to hear what dreams you have. And then let's start writing some of this stuff down. Let's start getting some of the details. Let's review, is this going to be more of a, can we start a business out of this, or do we just want to keep this a hobby? What do we want to do with this stuff? Let's play around. But, definitely take a closer look at this stuff. See if there's something that you see about. I like that. Evaluate your options. Don't shut yourself off from opportunities there. But I'm also getting with this Sagittarius, just if we have any, just thinking, with Mercury being in retrograde, depending on when you're watching this, Mercury being retrograde until the 14th of May, I would just be mindful of, any sort of like get rich quick schemes and like duh. But it's getting, just like watch your texts, watch your emails, just little things along those lines. Be aware of any kind of links that we're clicking. Just, just in that, again, not to get you worried or anything, but it's just to bring some awareness, keep a close eye on this stuff, phone call, weird things like that, just we want to keep eyes on these things. But let's get some tarot on this and get a little more details. Love it. Love it. So you got the Strength card upright, and then we got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And let me tell you why I like this Ten of Pentacles. Because, I feel like with both of this Wheel of Fortune and Ten of Pentacles, this to me, even with them being in reverse, this just gives you a chance to start really thinking. Because come on, 9, 10 Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. This is like thinking about those next big steps, Sagittarius. This is like, what do you want your dreams to look like? What do you want to leave behind? What kind of impact do you want to have on this realm while you're here? And bring that. When you think of the Strength card, this is Leo's card. And Leo is very creative energy, they're super creative. And the Strength card is like, can tie into like our vitality and things. And I feel like it's just like how you got this Ten of Wands here. Where are we expending our energies? Are we building it towards manifesting, beauty and bringing richness to the world? How are we raising that vibration? What does that look like? How are we just even thinking with Taurus energy? How are we providing stability, not just for ourselves and like security, but for everyone around us, help empower others to feel strong, to feel confident, to feel brave, and that they can achieve whatever it is that they want to. This could be even too, if we've been thinking about even like a public speaking, maybe you want to get into some type of leadership role, maybe politics or just community service in general. Leo energies, fire energies, really fire energy is just great for that, just in general, But I feel like especially with the Strength card here kind of fueling that, definitely tap into that there, Sag, because it's going to, when you start really start applying energies towards this stuff and really start seeing your dreams and things start coming to fruition, that really does, it's fulfilling in a way that, it's unparalleled, or there's another word for that, but you can't be compared. Stay with me. But it raises your confidence and has you feeling where you can tame lions, and there's nothing that you can't do, because now I don't know if you can see her little infinity sign upon her halo or above her head, but because now you're in tune with your energies. So really, Sagittarius, be thinking about this stuff. This gives to me, this is very much your ruler's getting ready to move into Taurus on the 16th of May. And this is a great time to be kind of cooking up some stuff, thinking about sort of like some long-term investments, whether that be for money, whether that be for just recreation, whatever that is. But really start thinking about your options. Are there any skills that you want to learn? Whatever that's looking like. I like that. Oh, okay. All right, last little pocket here. Okay, I love it. 8 of Swords in reverse. Beautiful. clarity. That's all this little pocket is. You got the four of swords. Yeah. Four of Swords and Eight of Swords in reverse here. Then we have the Queen of Swords and the Moon upright. And let's switch back over there, Sag, because with this little pocket here, if we have been in any sort of like toxic situation, low vibration, and we're kind of healing from that, just with this Four of Swords, I really feel like, there's emphasis on, just making sure that we're taking the time to rest, get our thoughts right, just get back into, reflect on this situation, and if we're in something, figure out, take the time and pause. What can we do to get out of this? How do we get back on this new path, get back on track here? But I do feel like just with that energy too, and with that low vibrational energy, and just thinking about speaking your truth, putting yourself out there, let's not get stuck in our heads. Let's because the thing with the Eight of Swords is, the nice thing with it being in reverse here is that when we realize that you can rise above this, that you can do whatever you set your mind and heart to, because the Queen of Swords, I actually was just thinking about her today. She was on one of these little websites. She was my card of the day. But she's like a card of like liberation, of like freedom, of like that mental freedom. Because when you realize that clarity that comes through, like you can change a situation with that Tower in reverse, that you can embark on, because the Moon card, even just thinking about going on this, starting this, whatever this is, the Moon card is like inviting us to venture into the unknown, to see what can happen, to come get the sun, because look at that, you're really kind of going in order here, Sag, because you went from the Tower. Is that how? Yeah, we go from the Tower to the Star to the Moon. The next stop is the Sun, and that's your happiness here. Sun rules Leo, so we just got to get in that confidence. We get there, and then your sun's going to shine. But I know that was a whole lot, but it's a whole lot to think about, Sagittarius. So really take this time, think about this stuff. Find Black Widows. Let's get some boundaries, opportunities, ideas. Let's see what we can do with them. In any sort of and just with these assessments, the fine to, any kind of examining stuff, just make sure that we are in. And just thinking too, the Queen of Swords, this is Libra's card. It just kind of popped in my head. Libra is represented by Justice in the deck. If we are doing any sort of legal work or anything along those lines, if we're in some sort of whatevers, just make sure, again, that we're just looking over the fine print and that we don't miss anything, okay? But yeah, I think that's all I got for you there, Sag. So if you like, let's get this message circulating. Let's help Sag start speaking out, spread the gold around. So give this a thumbs up and share this if you know someone who might resonate with this. Maybe they've been sitting on ideas, been feeling a little afraid to just give it a try. Let their sun shine. Or if someone's trapped in some kind of weird Black Widow situation, let's get them out of this. And then subscribe, hit that bell button to get notified around these videos each week. Social media, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Am I Instagram? Yeah, Instagram, you see how often I'm on there. But the main one that I've been kind of focusing on right now, I've been on this app, Insight Timer, for years, and it's a meditation app. And I created a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. It's just a group to drop positive affirmations, encouraging messages, anything along those lines to just help raise the vibration, Sag, and encourage you to do the same. And then as it grows, definitely want to do some. I've been working with the cards, trying to getting some ideas for different meditation groups, and it'll be a good old time. And all that information in the description box there for you. And then lastly, if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Jupiter, that's actually a really dope placement. Fun little fact there. My sun signs in Cancer, one fact. And then two, Jupiter is, you got Jupiter in Cancer. We had a good relationship. Jupiter's exalted in Cancer. So, Sag, we ain't good. So come on over anyway. But come on over to the Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping, down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. I love that. Because that's how we get over Black Widows. You got the devil in reverse here. Strong finish. Look at that. Look at that. Now we went from the devil to the tower to the star to the moon. And the next stop is thinking about what your happiness looks like. That's a brilliant end. And the way that we do that with this devil in reverse is notice any low vibratory behaviors, anything that keep us from getting to our goals. You know, that's going to be the biggest thing. And also, too, the devil, when we're talking about like confidence, you know, if we're not thinking that we can't do this thing, or that, you know, we're nervous about rising up, you know, that's in devil territory too, because you're doubting yourself. In Sagittarius, you can absolutely shine and do great things on this journey, because again, you're ruled by Jupiter, so you're meant to do something expansive, and know that the universe. I just read something that, oh goodness, it was talking about like the moon in Sagittarius, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it was something along the lines of Sagittarius, like, there's like this innate feeling that they know that everything's going to work out, and that they just thank the universe for blessing them all the time, and that's nourish that, because the universe has your back, Sagittarius. I mean, and then that's, you know, because the one thing with that, you know, we want to be mindful of being a little reckless, but you are a sign that is, you're a lucky sign. You know, you're naturally abundant. You foster these skills, you nourish these abilities with this, because that's your other oracle card. Man, I mean, there's nothing that you can't do. So, and listen, just one more thing, you know, that 10 of Wands, your card, the moon in Sagittarius. No, kidding. Saturn in Sagittarius. Regardless, it might feel like a lot at first, but if it's something that's resonating with you, you know, higher self is like, come on, like just give it a try, just fill that cup. I'd say go for it. Nourish that. See where that takes you. So, alrighty. I think I'm going to leave that there. So, you stay safe out there, Sagittarius, with your journeys and these Black Widows. You know, be mindful. But raise your vibration through the roof, because, I mean, you brought the energy here. And that's pretty much the question. You know, what does that look like? And I will catch you on the next one. Later.